cryptic corner where the coins keep turning. Logging now, the future's burning. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. Pixels glow, charts flow. Crypto whispers, secrets show. He cracks the code on this winding road. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. Tune in, lean back, grab your coffee, hit the track. JJ's live, don't be late. Cryptic wisdom, seal your fate.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Happy Sunday. How's everyone doing today? Guys, Bitcoin currently trading at $76,604.55. Gold and silver have officially started trading once again. Gold, $47.21. Silver, $79.71. Both gapping to the downside. Will it continue, or are we in for a recovery rebound come Monday? Time will tell. Let's go refresh our Bitcoin liquidation heat map and see where we're at. What's going on, Philly? Fahid, Gourmet Brands, Tom Selleck scoped. Philly said the big catalysts are the new Fed chair nomination, ETF outflows, and the Iran BS. Yes, and the government shutdown, which is now slated to be undone Tuesday. So it's going to last a little bit longer than people anticipated. Fahid said CMA gap going to be real good. Yes, it is, my friend. Yes, it is. Gourmet said, here we go again. I said Brown Monday. Tom Selleck scout said, I'm so tired of this crap, man. Gonna go all cash and earn 3.25% in high interest savings account. Nice. I like it. Gotta diversify, man. Okay. 12 hour. Get a little zoom action here. 75, 735. Yeah, we had a clear order book yesterday. Today we do not. What did I say? 75, 735, 75, 735. And then above, I'm gonna go right here. 77, 987. We're probably for sure going to hit that. There's also one closer. I guess I'll put that up there. Do I? 77, 279. Gotta diversify, guys. And make sure that you're sleeping, you know? 79, 273. If you're losing sleep over the market, then do risk a little bit. Do what you got to do. No shame. And if people do shame you, then they're losers. 73, 934. But also, F this market. I've reached peak cope. I've ascended. I've become a gaseous being. Where I just float around and I'm like, super cycle some point in the future. I just float around like that with my legs crossed. Fahid said, Tom said true. And Billy said, oh, no shit, the government shutdown wasn't settled? I thought that was settled. No, it is currently shut down. Saturday, Sunday, not really a big deal, but Monday, it's going to be shut down, and they're talking about Tuesday, that being resolved. When originally they were like, we got it solved. And then they're like, well, we can't get back to Senate until Monday. And now they're like, Tuesday, it looks like we're going to be good to go. So a lot of stuff. They really crammed it all into one day. Like Friday, we had Warsh fears. We had silver getting flushed for JP Morgan to close their shorts. We had geopolitical tensions with Iran and the United States of America. Now China wants their currency to be the global reserve currency. And the government is shut down until Tuesday now. So a lot of stuff going on. It's going to be a busy week again. Last week was crazy. This week might be even crazier. Time will tell. Bitcoin down 2.15%, or I'm sorry, 2.51. Got a little dyslexic there. Currently trading at 76,720 and 1 penny. Are we going to recover from here? We've got a green dot back here, which has been invalidated since. Oversold. Momentum wave on market cipher. Oversold RSI on the 4-hour time frame. Let me go to a higher time frame here. Daily. Also oversold. Incredibly oversold. Weekly. Very, very close. Has not been oversold since... What is that? Oh. Oh. Last time the weekly was oversold is 2022. Wow. June, July 2022. And we are very, very close. Last time we were this low. Let me see. What's my numbers? RSI right now. Why can't I see it? Updates available. Okay. There you go. What if that changed the whole thing? That would make me so mad. Why can't I see the number? Alright. We're at about 32.5. And last time we were this low was November 2022. So, November 2022. Is that this? Wow. What are these? Also, what are these Tom Selleck and Dremmer calls down here? What the heck? 11/21/2022. Yeah. That's nuts. So keep that in mind. That was the Pico bottom. But also, you also have to keep in mind, we became actually oversold on our RSI. And then we climbed out of that, in the RSI at least, and we established some bullish div. So you have to keep that in mind as well. This, right now, is not exactly November 2022. This is probably setting up for, well, we got to do this, and the price will maybe climb out, and our RSI, well, no, it would actually do the opposite. The price can do this, and then the RSI would be oversold and climb out, and that would create our bullish div. That's in order to mirror the scenario perfectly. People are talking about this being a head and shoulder as well. I don't see it. The right shoulder is not big enough. I do see the bear flag makes more sense than the head and shoulder. I'd rather this just be a bear flag. That just makes more sense to me. Let's go to another 4-hour time frame. Tom Selleck said public execution of CZ. Oh yeah, dude, CZ's in so much trouble right now. He's like, there's so much FUD and stuff, and that's why Bitcoin's dropping now. No, it's not, bro. You fumbled the bag, and the cat's out of the bag now, and you fumbled it. Because the cat is very pissed off. YouTube prevents me from writing so many things that I want to write. It's probably for the best. You could go to Discord, though. Just go to Discord. I'll read it. I can translate it for YouTube. Billy said, you lost me. Gold and silver prices dumped because of JP Morgan. So JP Morgan offloaded all of their shorts on silver on Friday at $75. Literally right here. Boop. This exact bottom. JP Morgan just so happens to close all their shorts. Right there. Nailed it. Price went straight back up after that. That's hell of a coincidence. Tom, what happens if you write what you want? Tom said, I can see it, but no one else can, Philly. Like my CZ comment about how I typed it 3 ways before I could go through. Philly is like the master of writing different words with different letters and stuff. Kind of creepy. Philly, are you the Zodiac Killer? That's not even a good joke. Tom, 10 minutes later, the stream begins. You should be able to say what you want 10 minutes after the stream begins. Oh, that's a good point, maybe. Okay. We talked about Bitcoin. 4 hour. Let's see if this gets bought up. We do have our CME gap goes all the way up to 84,260. So let me make this a different color. Style? Yeah. Let's go light blue. And let's make it thicker. That's our CME gap right there. Let's see if we end up going back there and tagging that. ETH down 7.78%. ETH getting absolutely hammered to the downside. Jeez, Jeez, Tom Lee staked a bunch of their ETH too. He has to wait like a month to unstake that if he wants to panic sell. I guess that's for the best. Down 7.83% on the day, currently trading at 22.59. My favorite part of CZ trying to like panic and scramble and like avert blame is him trying to say that it's Ethereum's fault. He's trying to say that it's Ethereum's fault. That's so funny, dude. He's like, Ethereum is like slow in the fees. Like, bro, there was more volume in this market last bull market. There was more money flowing around, and there was nothing like what happened. It definitely was not Ethereum's fault. That's crazy. What a crazy thing to do. What a crazy thing to say. That's like hacking. That's like hacking a government website and then being like, it's Linux's fault. Why did it let me do that? Crazy. Anyways, ETH 22.72 and 60 cents. Obviously, 2K is going to be a big psychological level that we're going to look for. There's a purple line there. What is that purple line? Obviously, it's going to be relevant. Okay, so that is a very, very long-standing trend line. Here's the issue that I have. How far does it go? Jeez, why did I put it all the way out there? Yeah, let me adjust this really quick. There we go. So we got this whole trend right here. It hit right there. It hit right there. We got a little fake out below it, got back above. Are we going to do another fake out right here? Is the question. In the past, ETH got as low as 13. See, ETH actually has an uptrend. I don't feel that bad about ETH here. Like, if ETH gets all the way down here, if ETH gets to 1,500, I'm probably going to buy some. I do see the head and shoulders, actually. What is that? 28 to 48, that's a $2,000 head and shoulder. What if it goes, what if ETH goes down to, like, 3 digits? Wouldn't that be crazy? Damn, I would definitely buy some then. Okay. Billy said, Tom, I switched to all messages. Oh, Billy, no, Billy. So Tom wants to say things that YouTube censors, is what he's trying to say, Philly. But yes, if you guys are ever on live chat, or if you guys are ever on top chat, switch to live chat. I don't know why it even has top chat. It's probably for people with like a large audience. We have been killing it with numbers though, so I appreciate you guys for showing up. We have been doing really good with the streams lately. Tom Selleck Goat said, weird, I still don't see him after that. She also said no super cycle now because people are being mean to him. Yeah, that one was my favorite. That one was my favorite. Well, there's not going to be a super cycle now because you guys are saying mean things about me, and that's not very nice. Gosh, what a weirdo. Billy said, JJ, can you check again the previous alt wick from October 10th? Yes, I absolutely can, Billy. So what's interesting about that we pointed out the other day, that is on total 3, and right here, October 10th bottom wick goes down to 766.8 billion. But if you go to October 10th on the 4-hour, that wick stops right here at 829, but that's inaccurate. And when I go to the daily, that October 10th wick, goes all the way down to 766.8 billion right there. So that's a little odd. It got so fudged up that TradingView can't even read the price data correctly. It's Kwame said, what's up, JJ? Billy said, every bear market always has some kind of catalyst that causes everything to dump hard. I mean, that goes back to the whole show me the chart and I'll show you the news argument. There's going to be good and bad news every single day. So if you just pick the bad day, then you could go to that day news and blame something. You know what I mean? Solana down 3.66%. ETH getting a little bit of a recovery here. Nice wick. I like the wick. I think we're getting some panics right now, and those panicins are going to get flushed out pretty quick. Solana at its lower trend line at 101. We literally called this like a week ago. I said if Solana loses this neckline, this purple neckline from way, way back here, then it's going down to $100. And it did exactly that. We tried to fake out above the upper trend line, broke below the neckline, rejected it, and then we went straight down to $100. Again, should have taken the trade, didn't. For some reason, my brain just stops me from doing fun things. But we're at the lower trend line right now. This trend line is very, very important. If you guys are not aware, this trend, we've been in this trend, which is cool because this is if you don't consider these attempted breakouts, this whole trend right here is a downtrend, like a bear flag potential. Breaking out of it with conviction could absolutely gig ascend Solana if you're looking at it from like a copium point of view. Now, this is the previous bull market. Solana is one of the few coins that actually had an all-time high. When I say neckline, purple neckline, I'm always talking about this right here. This inverse head and shoulder, textbook inverse head and shoulder we got. Attempted break, and it touched the lower trend line. Finally broke through, retested the neckline after rejecting the upper trend line, and that sent it to a new all-time high. Actually, that's not true. Or maybe it is? It is. So you barely got a new all-time high here. You retested your upper trend line again, and then you got a really nice all-time high up here at 300 bucks. About. And then you eventually broke back in, touched the lower trend, made another attempt, failed, broke back in, you're touching the trend. Are you going to make another attempt? I have no idea. But this is this is the, whatever they're called, the 300. We have to defend this level, and if we lose it, it's going to get spicy. Philly said Jordan calls for total destruction. He's calling for $20 Solana, 50k Bitcoin, 1200 ETH. I don't know what to think now. If we are entering like a global meltdown, I guess I don't know about the Solana and ETH calls because I feel like those will get really crazy. But Bitcoin, I'm still looking for 70. I feel like 60 would be worst case scenario. I don't know, 50 is not that far from that. So I don't hate those ideas. We're already so close anyway, so what's it really matter? 50 is another 30%. Big whoop. You know what I mean? That's very typical. We can just pretend like the bull market started today. And if we go down 30%, then that's a bull market pullback. You know? That's a little psychological cheat. All you have to do is lie to yourself and tell yourself everything's going to be okay. Okay. So we talked about Solana. Solana's at a key point right now. I like the wicks. The wicks are indicative of some buying pressure, but we'll have to see what Monday looks like. I think that this is a culmination of all of this crazy stuff going on. Let me go to a clean Bitcoin chart. Ish. I need like a notepad or something. We have Warsh, hawkish Fed pick. We have Iran, U.S. tensions. We have, what else do we have? Literally just talked about it. No rate cuts. That was a thing, I'm sure. You guys start rattling them off. I forgot already. Let me know. I'll add them as we go. Total 3, 756.22 billion. Oh, I got a poll for the chat as well. Let me do the poll in the chat, and you guys can tell me what all the bearish scenarios are. Poll in the chat. We've got 4 options. Question is the Trump pump officially over? Just a healthy retest. Yes, Warsh killed it. Buying the dip harder. And cash is my only friend. Government shutdown. Thank you. All right, guys, direct your attention to the poll in the chat. All right, let's go back to Bitcoin. Government shutdown is a big one. That one's big, big uncertainty. Big uncertainty with government shutdown. That should be number 2. But also, it just looks satisfying as number 2 because it's the line decreases in size. So 4 very, very big points. And that's just the 4 off the top of our head. I'm sure there's a million more. What a Trump pump. Tariffs. Yeah, tariffs. Tariffs are nonstop. Tariff/trade war. Philly said, but at the same time, I'm embracing the lower prices or capitulation I already have in my insane low buy orders. Fix your spelling. Did I F up my spelling? Where's my spelling? Did I mess up the spelling in the poll? Tump pump? Oh no! Not a tump pump. I'm not fixing it. I refuse. I'm not gonna make everybody re-vote. You guys, is the tump pump over? Damn. Not Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the worst president ever. Oh shit. Okay. Oh god, that's funny. Fix your spelling, dumbass. I can't. Oh. China manipulated currency will never be the world reserve, right? Yeah, dude, that one cracked me up. I actually reposted that on X. Gourmet said metal sell-off will spill over into crypto too. 100%. We got a big gap down on gold and silver. But again, is this manipulation? Because we did... Oh, yeah. Let me do that. The metals sell-off. That's another one. Because metals are supposed to be the safe haven. So regardless of whether or not there's other stuff happening, I'm going to blame JP Morgan. JP manipulation. I like that one. I like that one. JP manipulation. What is happening? There we go. All right. So these are all of our reasons for the big fat dumperino. So far, I'm sure we'll come up with 1,000 more while we're streaming. So total 3. My bear market bottom is 711. October 10th wick was 766, so that is filled. That is officially filled for altcoins, which is good, I suppose. Are we going to recover from here? I would hope so. I would love to say yes. There's not a doubt in my mind that we're going to recover from here, but I don't know if that's true. This trend line means nothing. Oh, well, actually, we got 2 points of confluence, so it could be maximum copium effort if we do want to pay attention to it, but I guess I'm still looking for 711, and the 700 itself is going to be psychological, so. Kwame said, does metal market open same time as stock market? I don't know. It starts trading like Sunday afternoon, so metals are trading right now. Is the stock market trading right now too, though? I don't know. I don't think so. But maybe? Maybe futures open? It might be futures. Gold, silver, and stock market futures. Futures market might open. Really. Yeah, silver. See, it's such a weird chart to look at, too. Like, obviously, it broke above 100 and it went crazy. So, retest to 100 makes sense. But that fast move is the false move. I don't know. I did notice, because I've been looking on eBay. I like silver. I like silver and I like copper. Been looking on eBay. Everything disappeared. And then this happened on Friday. Now all of a sudden, all the mints suddenly have a bunch of silver for sale again. It's a little sus. Greg said, ahoy JJ and crew. Wow, pretty crappy day for crypto, metal futures, etc. Expect more pain before any gain. 100%. Greg, I agree. Gourmet said, I think it opened now, 6 p.m. EST. Yes, futures are trading right now. Silver and gold gapped down. Unfortunately, my gold fractal might be in shambles. ADA's down 1.91%, currently trading at 28.80. I got nothing for this thing, man. The current low is like 24, 21, who knows? I think that's what I put these on here for. But we'll see, man. We will see. That's like the bear market bottom as well. And there was definitely no bull market top for ADA, for sure. SNEC is trading at 46.65. We've lost 5 officially. So it is a meme coin. You got to mitigate risk. Make sure you're not overexposed. Midnight somehow up 2.45%, but it looks like crap. This thing's almost back at its launch price, so anyone that bought above launch is royally screwed. XRP is down 2.97%. XRP is holding the line at 157, currently trading at 159.86. Can 157 hold? This is what I always talk about. XRP is the perfect example. This thing trades beautifully on these points of confluence. And when I say points of confluence, it's not a special fancy word or anything like that. It's literally areas where the price has traded before. You get a reaction at 184 a bunch of times like this. 184 is a point of confluence. That's where a lot of volume is traded. For some reason, the price holds there. You get bounces. And that's all I do is zoom out on the chart and I see where did all of these reversals occur. Is it a rejection or is it a support? And I put those lines, and that's why my charts look like nonsense, like the lined paper had like a seizure. I just throw lines on there, and eventually they play out, and it works really nicely. Just for ideas, nice quick ideas. It's very similar to the fixed range volume profile. But XRP, let's see if 157 holds. If not, 150 is going to be a psychological level to keep an eye on. We got a nice wick down to 150. This thing might be heading for $1. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. Avalanche and Chainlink also both getting absolutely decimated. We are well below our areas of range. 993. Broke below 11 and 10. Can we get back above 10 for the close? I mean, we got a green dot down here, which is interesting. Chainlink, similar situation, below $10. Both Chainlink and Avalanche below $10 is very interesting. Greg said, just remember CME Comex SL1 silver futures like 2 weeks ago shut down for 12 hours, then another rally, then epic dump. The Chicago Bears are playing games, and it's not football. Ooh, I like it. I like it. Yeah, isn't Chicago's where that bank got shafted, isn't it? Cheers, guys. Happy Sunday. Appreciate you guys joining me on this lovely evening. That's crazy to see. Gold down 3.06% on futures open. Silver down 4.97. Wow. 8107. Here's the question. Here's my question. We got 7 votes on the poll. I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna ask you guys another question. We're ending the poll. I said, is the Trump pump officially over? 29% of you guys said yes, Warsh killed it. 29% said buying the dip harder. 29% said cash is my only friend. And 13% said just a healthy retest. Greg said, as far as XRP, I would not be surprised if it drops to 75 cents or less. JShear 2.0 said, yo, sup family, what's going on, JShear 2.0? Let's start another poll. Is the precious metals top officially in? Yes, it's over for a while now. Yes, but only for a short time. No. This is a retest. No. Manipulation. Then higher. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Is the precious metals top officially in? Yes, it's over for a while now. Yes, but only for a short time. No. It's just a retest or no manipulation, then higher. Silver, $80.99. The fact that 1 year ago, let's go to February 1st, 2025. Let's just go check that. January 1st, 2025 for silver. March, January, nope, February 1st, right there. Right. Gosh, I really can't get it, can I? December, January, February 1st. Oh, February 3rd, because it doesn't trade on the weekends. February 3rd, 2025, silver was $31. $31, and it is currently sitting at 81. So, anyone that thinks that this was not a potential blow-off top might be a little blind. But I understand the supply-demand situation, so I'm not saying it's going to be for forever. Oh, I have to renew my phone plan. If you, should I put a Mint Mobile referral link in the description? Do I have one in there? It's so nice, dude. I pay for my phone once a year. Greg said the market makers and the same takes made the top and will ride the shorts to the bottom. See, JP Morgan closed their shorts though. So are they tricking everyone into going long? It's quite confusing. Quite a confusing situation. But silver, 81, 82. we talked about how big tech can't afford silver to be over $100 an ounce. That's crazy because they need silver. Silver is actually used in technology. Gourmet said, sorry, gotta run, guys. Enjoy the rest of the stream. Take it easy, Gourmet. Appreciate you for stopping by. Cheers, my friend. Thank you for smashing the like button. The Silicon Valley, essentially, cannot afford for silver to be valuated over $100. That's too much, man. That is way too much money. They need to buy it. I think Elon talked about it. He was like, this is not good. So it also makes sense that they're going to do what they got to do to keep the price down from a practical, like utilitarian standpoint. Crummy said, have a good one, Gourmet. Greg said, oops, makers and takers, the same group of a-holes. Got it. Okay. So Greg originally said the market makers and takers made the top and will ride the shorts to the bottom. You think it's over? Oh, 60% of you guys think that the silver and gold top is in for quite some time now. We're gonna have to wait a little while. Interesting. Are we gonna pull back to 4,250? I don't know. What a crazy time, man. What a crazy time. If this does all pull back and settle down, what was the point of it? Was this all just leading into... Like, there had to have been something really happening behind the scenes. You're not going to tell me this was because of freaking Venezuela and then, like, what else? Because this didn't even happen when the Russian-Ukraine situation unfolded. So, it's a little goofy. It's not from Iran and the United States. Nobody cares about that crap enough to load up on silver and gold. Which seems kind of goofy to me. Tomorrow we officially get our first in a month ISM Purchasing Managers Index PMI. And if this prints above 50, then it's going to be an expansion for the first time since, mind you, the 2021 bull market. And before then, the 2017-2018 bull market. We've been in contraction that whole entire time, this whole time. And guess what? These peaks align perfectly with Bitcoin's two big peaks, and then most recently this one right here. This is Bitcoin's peak, and then attempted peak, and now we're falling. If this prints above 50, even better above 55, it's going to be crazy. Greg said Bitcoin daily close 76,900. We're at 76,988. We got less than 4 minutes left. So yeah, we're looking for ISM Manufacturers PMI to publish tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow morning, before the afternoon, I believe. Bitcoin 76,963. This is a weekly close tonight. Let's see. Crypto Spaces said, what a time to be alive. Just come back in October, guys. The worst mistake you can make. Things change fast in crypto. Oh yeah, things do change fast. That's why I'm just going to continue to load up like I do. You know, I might lower my dollar cost average while the prices are getting dicey and dropping like this. But the second it looks like it's stabilizing, I'm going to just full port every single week, whatever amount of money that I can. Diversity is your best friend, though. Obviously, right now, everything's getting destroyed. We got stock market dropping, we got crypto dropping, we got precious metals dropping. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. So, all of this stuff is going to be settled. And do you want to know why it's going to be settled? Do you want to know why I can almost guarantee you that it's going to be settled? Midterms. Midterms are going to be the catalyst right here. All of this stuff is going to go away because midterms are going to be the point of contention here. I don't know if they're going to do anything about the metal sell-off, but Warsh might become a dove. Government shutdown's going to end probably Monday, Tuesday. Iran versus U.S. tensions, they're in talks right now. Looks good. No rate cut. Obviously, nothing can get done about that. Maybe the Fed might do an emergency rate cut if if employment gets too bad. And then tariffs, we all know what happens with those. Those are just a negotiation tactic. So all of this stuff, tariffs, negotiation tactic, rate cut, We're going to get one in May, probably. Iran versus U.S. They're talking right now. Government shutdown ending Tuesday, allegedly. Warsh hawkish Fed pick. He's potentially maybe going to be dovish. Who knows, man? He might flip. He might flip. Somebody mentioned yesterday in the chat, we cannot have a hawkish Fed. It doesn't make any sense. None of the numbers work for a hawkish Fed. So it's almost impossible for him to come in and be hawkish. So that makes sense. This is the only one where I'm like, I don't know what they're going to do about this. They might not do anything about it. They might just let metal sell off. Who knows? But the rest of this stuff all going away is going to be huge for us. Huge. And they're going to do that. And then midterms, the market's going to be like, wow, crazy up. And they're going to be like, look what we did. We did this for you. Look at how brilliant and beautiful the market looks. Fahid said, what time is daily close? I think I've lost track. Daily close is in less than 1 minute. This is 52 seconds, actually. Bitcoin, let's go to the right chart. 76.9, 73 and 48 cents. Crypto Spaces said, I still believe in a world where select alts will do well regardless of Bitcoin. Greg said, midterms don't matter at this point. No one will care if the market is a dumpster fire and pointing fingers at the government. I think that the right, if they want to try to win, are going to kiss ass for midterms. That's usually how it goes. But midterms are also usually really bearish year for crypto in particular. So we might not get good year for crypto. This might be the bear market year, man. It might be. 5 seconds left. 76,968. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin daily close $76,968.21. 76,968.21. 76,968.21. All right. Do I put a dollar sign? Yeah. I guess I should put a comma in there too then. Okay. I mean, I like the wicks. I do. This, I mean, it's doing the stiletto pattern as well. But we got that right back here. Is it just going to do that again? Is that how we get to 70K? Might be. All right, let's get to the news segment. 76,989. We got an attempted green start. Gold and silver red, however. Silver's trying. I feel like silver might push back up. There's I think a mint in Australia shut down over the weekend. All right. Yeah, right here. No, it's the UK. The UK's largest PM refiner and retail dealer, Baird & Co. has shut down online sales, and so it begins. Interesting. Raoul Paul said, remember the last time the government shut down? Yes, the market did exactly this. It's all about liquidity still, and the TGA is still trapped until this finally resolves. Meanwhile, expect more ugliness. The beatings shall continue until morale improves. All right. We've got silver dump was done by JP Morgan, and I've got proof from Weimar X on X. A COMEX report says JP Morgan closed its silver short around $78. Silver went from 121 to 74, then settled around 78. That's the exact level. That timing isn't random. Now connect dots. On December 2nd, the U.S. banks had 17,838 silver futures short. That's 89.19 million ounces. At $121, that's 10.8 billion in short notional. That one fact explains a lot. This is the same play you see in crypto. They push price to pull leverage in. Then they dump it into the thin liquidity. Stops get clipped, longs get liquidated, then the cover happens into the panic. This is not good at all. And now trust is breaking. People don't know where to park money anymore. Dollar is dumping, gold is dumping, stocks are dumping, crypto is dumping, bonds are dumping. Watch the flows. I've studied macro for 10 years and I called almost every major market top, including the October Bitcoin all-time high. Follow and turn notifications on, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, basically JP Morgan closed their silver short. Greg said, the good news is Bitcoin daily RSI is way oversold at 23. Wow, so perhaps a daily recovery is nay? Show JJ your support. Hit that like button. Yeah, guys, smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. This one was really funny. I had to point this out. S&P is crashing. NASDAQ is crashing. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP crashing. Gold, silver crashing. Banks, dollar crashing. Is there anything going up right now? Well, Pokemon. You know, it is paper, and it is, for some reason, printed a lot less than all of these other things. Pokemon is much more limited, and probably a lot harder to fake as well, which is crazy to think about. Jim Cramer says, where are the usual Bitcoin defenders? Ahoy. I will say, Cramer's been posting a lot about Bitcoin on X this past 2-3 days, and it's kind of freaking me out. Never seen the guy post about Bitcoin that much. Michael Saylor hints at buying more Bitcoin, more orange. Very cool. Chinese President Xi Jinping calls for the yuan to become a global reserve currency. I have no words. No words for you, guy. Jim Cramer says buyers will pump Bitcoin back to 82K. So we're probably never touching 82K ever again. Thanks, Jim Cramer. Il Capo of crypto, who is historically really bad at crypto, said everything is lining up for a massive short squeeze. So that was kind of cute. Marty Party posted U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson expressed confidence that he has the necessary votes to end the ongoing partial government shutdown by at least Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. This statement came during an interview on NBC's Meet the Press on Sunday, February 1st, 2026. Greg said, Kramer equals asshole. Yeah, I believe it. ETF news, 21 shares files S1A update for their SWI spot ETF. Changes include updating the symbol name from ARCB to TSWI and adding that the exchange listing will be on the NASDAQ. Number of initial shares updated to 20,000. Interesting. We got a Wyckoff accumulation update from January 31st. This is 23 hours ago. So let's see how much lower Bitcoin goes, if it goes lower at all. This was at 79,893. We're at 76,9 right now. So it's possible for it to go lower. For sure. It's always possible for it to go lower. Kobe SC Litter. Foreign investors have never held more U.S. equities. Foreign investors now allocate a record 32.4% of their U.S. financial assets to equities. This percentage has more than doubled since 2008 and has surpassed the previous record of 31.4% set in the 1960s. By comparison, the long-term average allocation to equities is 19.3%. This comes as foreign investors own a record $20.8 trillion in U.S. stocks and equity funds. Their total equity holdings have risen plus 160% since 2020. European investors alone hold $10.4 trillion, an all-time high. Foreign investors are all in on U.S. stocks. Dang. Breaking the U.S. Financial Conditions Index is down to 98.3 points, the lowest since early 2022. Financial conditions have been in a firm downtrend over the last 5 years. This comes as the Fed has cut rates by 175 basis points since September 2024, to 3.75%, the lowest since October 2022. Furthermore, the U.S. dollar has fallen 12% in 12 months to near the lowest since February 2022. Loosening financial conditions even further, all while U.S. investment-grade corporate credit spreads have tightened to their lowest since 1998. As a result, the financial conditions are back down to pre-interest rate hike levels seen in March 2022. Asset owners are winning. Not for long. If they keep this up, we won't be. Bitcoin turner green here, $77,231. Are we going to see a recovery? Silver also aggressively turning green, gold flipping green. Is this it, guys? Was that the Pico low? That would be pretty sick, I'm not going to lie. Let's see. AI demand shows no signs of slowing. ASML holdings sales rose 16% year over year in 2025 to a record 32.7 billion euros. This marks, is that right? Yeah. This marks 13th consecutive annual increase. ASML, Europe's most valuable firm, is the sole producer of lithography machines essential for making advanced semiconductors. That sounds like a really big point of failure. A single point of failure right there. Shouldn't we diversify this? The company supplies all leading chip manufacturers, including Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing and Intel, and its machines are essential for producing NVIDIA AI chips. In Q4 2025 alone, the company bookings surged to a record $13.2 billion, driven by rising AI chip demand. ASML expects revenue to rise as high as $39 billion this year. AI-fueled momentum is accelerating. Let me read that again really quick because this is crazy. ASML, okay, is Europe's most valuable firm. No, is the sole producer of lithography machines essential for making advanced semiconductors. They're the only people who make that? That sounds crazy. Shouldn't we fix that? We should have more than one producer. This is wild. The 2x leverage long silver futures ETF AGQ dropped 60% on Friday, posting the largest daily decline on record. This comes after the ETF rallied 158% year to date through Thursday. As a result, Friday's fall erased nearly all year-to-date gains, and AGQ is up just 3% for the year. At one point, the ETF was down 70% intraday from the Thursday peak, all while trading volume in the fund jumped to a record 38.4 million shares during the session. Leverage ETFs are a dangerous game. Yes, they are, but they are fun. Tom Selleck-Scott said, not only that ASML cannot be replaced, the precision that goes into making the stuff is impossible to recreate, so basically they have a monopoly. How is it impossible to recreate? That doesn't make any sense to me. That is a monopoly, which isn't that illegal? As far as I'm aware, the only legal monopolies, at least in the United States, Europe is completely different, I'm sure. The only legal monopolies in the United States that I'm aware of are utility companies, because they don't want power lines and gas lines everywhere. Then there would be a huge issue. Tom Selleck-Scott said, I own ASML over Taiwan Semi, and it's one of the main reasons. I mean, that makes sense. I don't know why I didn't know that. That's huge. I'm probably going to try to figure out how to acquire some. Okay. Silver and gold ETF trading volumes went parabolic this week. Trading volume on the largest silver-backed ETF SLV surpassed a record 40 billion on Friday. Daily volume in the largest gold-backed ETF GLD also hit an all-time high of 40 billion. Both exceed the turnover of any other asset, with Tesla the next highest at 35 billion. This follows Thursday when GLD and SLV saw 25 billion and 20 billion of volume. As a result, their combined trading volume over the week surged to a record 280 billion. This is more than double the previous peak seen in October 2025 and more than quadruple 2020 levels. It was a historic week for precious metals. I don't know if we've seen the end of that either. Like people are standoffish right now because everything got a little dumpy for a minute, but this is going up fast. Guys, it's going up pretty damn fast. Let me see. I gotta see how much money I have in my, because I opened a long right down here on silver. It might get wrecked. It is a gamble. Don't gamble, but if you want to, I have affiliate links in the description. Help support the channel. I only put 20 bucks in, but still, it's fun. It's a fun gamble. A little $20 scratch off essentially. All right. We went through all this. Yeah, that's crazy. Look at that, man. That is literally straight up. Key events this week. This is huge. We're probably going to try to repeat this all week, so pay attention. Maybe write it down, take a screenshot, whatever you got to do. January, ISM manufacturing PMI data comes out on Monday. That is huge. We are going to pay attention to that. I don't know what time. We'll probably ask Grok. I think it's like 10 a.m. December JOLTS job openings data comes out on Tuesday. Google reports earnings on Wednesday. Initial jobless claims data comes out on Thursday. Amazon reports earnings on Thursday. January jobs report on Friday. It's all about the labor market and earnings this week. If the labor market is in shambles, like if it's really, really bad, and we saw how many layoffs everyone had, then the Fed might call an emergency meeting. I'm not saying that's going to happen. It would have to be really bad. We saw a lot of layoffs recently. But the Fed said that they're focusing on employment right now. So if they have the right numbers from employment, they could justify an emergency cut. Breaking. Global gold demand rose 40 tons year over year in 2025 to a record 5,002 tons. This marks the fourth consecutive annual increase. Since 2021, demand for gold has soared 292 tons. In US dollar terms, total gold demand jumped 45% year over year to 552 billion, an all-time high doubling since 2022. This comes as gold ETF holdings surged 801 tons year over year, marking the second strongest year on record. At the same time, bar and coin demand jumped to a 12-year high of 1,374 tons. Central bank gold demand hit 863 tons in 2025, the fourth highest year on record, and above the 2010-2021 annual average of 473 tons. The global gold rush is accelerating. I wonder if it's actually going to accelerate further from here. That'd be crazy. The wealth divide is spreading to inflation. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. Just show more. New Fed data shows the lower income U.S. households now face higher rates of inflation than higher income earners. The bottom 40% of U.S. households is seeing annual inflation rates of 3.1%. Meanwhile, the middle 40% and top 20% see inflation rates of around 2.9%. Why is this happening? Because lower income households are spending a higher percent of their income on necessities. This includes rent, electricity, food, and transportation, which have far outpaced headline inflation numbers. Inflation remains higher for many U.S. households. Okay. Not according to Trueflation, but we'll just ignore that. Silver 85.21. Currently, candle is up 0.12%. It did gap down when it opened today. This is silver futures. Gold still down 1.04 on the day, but the candle itself is up 1.05%. So I guess it gapped down 2%. That's crazy. Tom Selleck-Scout said, it's not a monopoly when no one else can do it. There's such a precision in the equipment they use that it would take like a ridiculous amount of time for anyone else to figure it out. I feel like we should be putting money into that, though. Am I wrong? Is this not like a genuine concern? Like if somebody wanted to throw the entire global economy into, I don't know, like a weird endemic scenario, couldn't they just destroy that one factory or that one manufacturer? Am I wrong? I feel like this stuff is needed for national security at this point. Like it's not just video games anymore. I don't know. It seems like the world runs on this stuff and they're like, it's fine. Let's just let Jerry make it in the janitor's closet. It's fine. Where everything looks like it's going to start an electrical fire. Weird, man. Weird world we live in. Bitcoin is green. We are up 0.93%, currently trading at 77,669 and 84 cents. Whoops. Was that the bottom? I don't think so, but I hope so. That'd be cool. This is a nice reversal candle. That's just on the 4 hour. And yeah, the 4 hour is oversold. The daily is oversold. So, time will tell. I know I say that a lot, but it's true. Tom Selleck-Scout said, you aren't wrong. What the same could kind of be said for TSM, but yeah, TSM can't make chips without this equipment, so same idea. Is TSM the only manufacturer for, I guess, semiconductors? Yeah, that's so weird. Like, it feels like the world is so futuristic, but it's all only, like, hanging by a thread. The future is, like, hinged on, it's like the meme with, like, all the blocks stacked up really, really high, and there's, like, all this craziness, and then the bottom is like this nice foundation, and then there's like a little tiny thing right here, like holding it all up on some angled. And that's Taiwan Semiconductor and ASML. You know what I'm talking about? That's the entire, like, the future are all the big building blocks, and then that tiny little piece down there is just that one or two companies that make all of this stuff. That's crazy, man. Gosh, could you imagine the weight on your shoulders? Like being the guy responsible for those companies. Okay, Trueflation posted U.S. CPI inflation data dropped significantly today from 1.24% to 0.86% in our independent price data, the lowest since 2020. Trueflation U.S. CPI today 0.86% year over year. The biggest downward drivers were utilities down 0.13%. That one's weird because of gas prices going up so high, like natural gas. Clothing, down 0.08%. I don't know why that costs any money. I don't know. Clothing inflation doesn't make sense to me. Housing, 0.05%. Transport, 0.05%. And food, 0.04%. These are all negatives, by the way. So I guess that resulted in a crazy dump. That's insane. We're seeing significant cooling across all our independent U.S. inflation indexes. U.S. CPI today, 0.86%, dropped from 1.24% yesterday. U.S. PCE today, 1.18%. U.S. Core PCE today, 1.38%. U.S. BLS comparison CPI, 0.29%. Obtaining by applying the BLS CPI weighing and categories to our price data. U.S. CPI aggregated since January 2020, 27.58%. All our indexes are calculated daily as a year-over-year percentage rate using millions of data points from tens of data providers. From tens of data providers. Have you guys ever seen my stupid? I made a little ad. I don't remember. I think in the ad I'm like on my computer or something, and then I turned around and I go, "Oh hi, I'm JJ from JJ's Crypto Corner. If you or a loved one has been rugged by a meme coin, consider subscribing. I've helped tens of individuals recoup their losses by reinvesting into new meme coins and shitters. Subscribe today." That's such a good one, dude. I think I had another one that I was trying to do. At my work, we were like building this big, beautiful cabin, and it was all empty. And I set my camera up, and I like came from around a wall, and I was like, "Oh, hello." Like those corny 90s commercials. Oh man, that was so much fun. I gotta do one of those. All right, Bitcoin looks good so far. I'm really interested in silver and gold. Silver, look at that. Silver's up 2.38% already. Let's go. Let's go. We got 40% of you guys said you think it's over for a while now. If this recovers all the way up to 115 that quick, I'm gonna shit my pants. Live. I'm just kidding. I won't actually do that. This is crazy. Okay, I'm getting a little too hyped up. Don't FOMO. U.S. Bitcoin miners are powering down as brutal winter storm sends electricity costs soaring and hash rates plunging. I don't understand why electricity would go up. Why would the cost of electricity change at all? That never made sense to me. It doesn't cost you any more or less. As a matter of fact, you would think if it was colder outside, cooling would be cheaper. But maybe people have electric furnaces. I don't know. It's such a weird way of pricing anything is bullshit. Market. Bitcoin needs to add $10,000 to liquidate $5 billion in longs. Update. Bitcoin hits fire sale zone for the first time since December 2023. Interesting. And that's based on the Bitcoin Rainbow price chart, by the way, and CoinGlass. Massive. The stablecoin market cap added $87 billion in the past year. That's a lot of money. Strategy's Bitcoin stash is now in the red. That was 19 hours ago. They might be good now. I don't remember where their number is. Look at that, man. 2.29. Silver is soaring. 1.23% in the green on Bitcoin, currently trading at $77,904. Looks a lot more attractive now that it's cheaper. Bitmain's ETH treasury is $6 billion underwater as leverage snaps and liquidity vanishes. Number go down. Huge Cardone Capital adds more Bitcoin at $76,000. CZ said now is the best time to educate people about crypto. Global tensions cause more money to flow into safe assets like gold and silver first. Then they find out those are not as stable as they thought. Now is the best time to educate people about crypto. He's posting on Twitter, "Give me more money." Disgusting. Derek said, "Sup, JJ?" What's going on, Derek? Cheers, my friend. Happy Sunday. Nice to see you. Cointelegraph posted, the U.S. government still holds over 328,000 Bitcoin, while China and the U.K. only have 194,000 and 61,000, respectively. Interesting. Market yesterday saw the highest single-day liquidation since October 10th. This one just cracked me up. Sam Bankman-Fried turns up Trump support following Ellison's release. Dude is literally posting on X from prison and still simping for this chick. What did she do to him? That's so creepy, man. That is so creepy. Market. This is now ETH's third worst Q1. We've got 2018 down 46.61%, 2022 down 10.75%, 2025 down 45.41%, and 2026 down 18.21%. And that was 12 hours ago, so it might be even worse now. Tom Selleck-Scott said we locked up the wrong guy. Free Sam Bankman-Fried, lock up CZ. I actually disagree. I think Sam Bankman-Fried should be in prison as well. What would be really funny is if they were locked up together. Put him in with Diddy. Put him in with Diddy and R. Kelly. Is R. Kelly in prison? I don't remember. Did you guys ever see that creepy video of him in Ethiopia? And he's on stage singing. He's like, do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back with Rob to America? It's so creepy. Dude, I don't know how that guy got away with any of the stuff that he got away with. Who was around him going, God, this is such a beautiful, creepy, not creepy song about literally human trafficking? Like, who was around him being like, this is okay? Did he have a publicist? Blows my mind, man. I don't understand it. Bitcoin looking really good here, up 1.33%, getting a little bit of recovery. $77,989. Oh, $985. Okay, latest step. This is the one that I was cracking up about. Step Finance suffered a $27 million treasury breach, sending its step token down over 90%. Ladies and gentlemen, allegedly, in my brain, let's tinfoil, hold on, excuse me, I don't want to get in trouble. I believe when stuff like this happens, really, really red days, crazy red days, the market's crashed, and then they're like, oh no, somebody hacked and stole my treasury funds. Oh guys, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna resign from this position. I'm not worthy. And then they walk away with what just so happens to be pretty much the exact same amount of money that was stolen in their net worth. Why is that? That's so weird. Where'd you get that money? Oh, this is the money that I made before, like in the bull market. This is my bull market money. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It smells fishy to me. It smells fishy. How easy is it? I'm a project founder, and I'm like, okay, the market looks like crap. I'm a scumbag. I'm going to scam everybody and take all their money. And then I'm like, boop, 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 boop. Oh no, there was a data breach and I was hacked and all the treasury funds are gone. And then you're like, my bad, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to never return. I'm never going to show my face in the crypto space again because I'm that ashamed. And then they go buy, 500 acres in like Scotland and retire in a castle. I think it's bullshit. I'm sorry. I really do. Especially when the market's down. That's like the worst day the market's had. And then they're like, uh-oh, we got hacked just now. Bye. It smells like bullshit to me. A UAE UAE-backed fund quietly bought, I like how they say quietly, 49% of a Trump-linked crypto startup for $500 million just days before his White House return. Interesting. What's really funny about this is they say quietly bought, but everyone's been talking about this today. So apparently it wasn't that quiet. Wrecked. 1.89 billion in longs were wiped out in the past 24 hours. They're going for the shorts now, maybe, question mark. JYS Adventure said, it's mostly when the markets are down, these hacks, etc. happen, and that's how you know they're bullshit. That is how you know they are bullshit. All right. Vitalik. The problem is not incentivizing content, it's surfacing good content. Ethereum co-founder on why creator coins keep failing. Here's my issue with that. As a self-proclaimed content creator myself, I do not ask you guys for anything except for hitting the like button and subscribing. If you guys find value in my content and you want to give me money, that's cool. If you don't, you have no obligation. I have no obligation to you. You have no obligation to me. That's the way that it should work. If I am a good content creator, I will get paid for my work via YouTube ads, maybe sponsored deals in the future, whatever, I don't think creator coins need to exist at all. As far as I'm concerned, creator coins are pure mass extraction tools. That's all that they are. I've never sat there and been like, it may be a good idea for me to do a creator coin for my YouTube channel. It's not. It's a stupid idea for everybody, I think. That's just my opinion. I have not seen a model that seems reasonable. They all just are very much like, hey guys, put all your money in this, and then, oh no, there was a hack again. Somebody sold my entire bag. I have no idea what happened. That's messed up. Okay. JWaz Adventure said, the risk reward for crypto doesn't feel worth it anymore, but I still believe. See, I'm the opposite now. It's getting to the point now where, to me, it seems the risk reward is way too high. Because we know that these prices can go much higher. And I guess maybe right now is not the right time to feel that way. But I feel like as the price goes down further, the risk reward leans towards higher reward. And I've said it a bunch of times, and it is copium. So don't take this any other way other than copium. But the downside risk stops at 0. The upside risk can literally go to infinity. There's no ceiling to the upside risk. There is a floor, though. I'm just saying. That's where market cap comes into play. 88 Metals Mania said, is a creator token the same as a fan token for clubs? I think so. There's like I could make JJ coin, and I could tell you guys all kinds of bullcrap. Be like, oh, you guys get exclusive access to like the webcam that I have in my bathroom, or whatever weird shit that they do. And then a bunch of people buy it. And the main incentive for me is that when you guys buy it, I get to sell it and make money. And I think that that's weird. I think that's weird. Because you don't need a coin for that. You can do like Patreon, like exclusive content through Patreon. You can do exclusive content on YouTube just through memberships. A creator coin is a scam. It is. I think it always is. And everyone's like, oh, well, it helps them with the platforms and stuff. They would have to program like a private incentivization platform, in which at that point they can just make their own, and they can cut out YouTube middleman and all that stuff. It just doesn't make sense to me. Jay Wesovich said a creator coin is a meme coin, but a smart creator will make a good model. But even then, it just seems like liquidity extraction. There's never an incentive for me in my brain. Same with all the... And I might get a lot of shit for this from other creators, but I think paid groups are a scam. I think paid groups are a scam every single time. Every time. Unless it's like $20, one-time $20 fee, and you just get to be part of the group for forever, and the group like shares news and stuff, that's whatever. But like the things that are like $50, $100 a month, and they teach you how to trade, and you get like all the signals and like bullshit, I think it's the biggest scam on the planet. Because the second that those signals don't work, they're like, oh, well, you didn't do your homework, and, you know, this workaround and this fine print absolves us of any wrongdoing, so it's your dumbass fault for paying for the group, idiot. I don't like it. I think it's creepy and predatory and weird. Which is why I'll never do one of those. Ever. Never will. Alright. Market. The last 14 days wiped $570 billion from the total crypto market cap. It might be more now. We did drop a little bit more. But we do look like we might be trying to recover from here. Like I said, we are oversold. We do have a CME gap, which is at $84,260. JY's Venture said paid groups are good for getting on-chain coins early. I disagree. Ethereum L2s outpace ETH by 900%. This one's interesting. Quite interesting. If you aren't sure how to explain Bitcoin to your friends or family, then send them this. I wanted to read this because I thought it was interesting. Somebody posted on the Bitcoin subreddit, apparently 37 days ago from whenever the screenshot was taken. I think I finally understand Bitcoin. It's a silent project that operates in the background. There's no face to it. The founders created it and walked away. It's like an elegant clock set into motion that continues to tick. There's no promise of some complex protocol to come 3, 5, or 10 years down the road. It does what it's supposed to do now without self-promotion from the founders. Since it doesn't need self-promotion to thrive, it doesn't fall victim to the vices of marketing from greedy, charismatic leaders with overly complex projects. Sure, there's Saylor and Novogratz that sometimes fall into that role, but Bitcoin doesn't need them to survive and won't need them when they die. The project works now It does what it's supposed to, and it'll continue to do what it's supposed to. It's the money of the future of our science fiction novels. There's no crypto Chris marketing shitty debit cards. There's no charismatic Do Kwon doing a Forbes Steve Jobs photo shoot with a black t-shirt and a white background. There's no Jay Powell magically expanding the money supply with a cabal-fueled wand, creating a 9 trillion USD balance sheet out of thin air. Bitcoin takes out the corruption of humans because the humans that created it stepped away. Sure, people will build corrupt systems around it, but Bitcoin itself is a simple, pure, and elegant vehicle, silently ticking away in the background until the ticking becomes so loud that no one can ignore it. I love it. Saeed said, hi, sir. How you doing, Saeed? Happy Sunday, my friend. Cheers. J. Wise Avenger said, obviously not, but a few are. Obviously not all. Unfortunately, people exploit the groups and charge crazy amounts for access. I think Crypto Face is one of the worst. His little indicator. Ben Cowan is really bad too. Ben Cowan's group is like ridiculously expensive. What does he teach? You know, at least he makes some data, but he always used to brag about, he's like, I don't turn ads on my YouTube channel. Bro, you have a group that's like $150 a month. What are you offering them? Crazy to me. And then Meet Kevin. I don't know, Meet Kevin's group is hit or miss. He talks about it way too much. But it's stock market and like bond market. Like his is a catch-all. So it makes a little bit more sense than just the, you know, little crypto paid group. But it's still kind of silly to me. I don't know. If you got the money and you want to pay for it, that's fine. I'll never be doing one myself. I would rather offer you guys all of that information and incentive for free. And you guys just enjoy watching me. You know, join the Discord. I paste all the crap in there that I see and find interesting after the streams, before the streams, during the day, whenever. And then during the stream, I read it. This one was fun. Bitcoin Magazine, buy the dip. $124,000 Bitcoin, up 230%. I wish I bought earlier. Minus 38%. Bitcoin 77K. It's a scam. It's going to zero. Good one. We are chasing wrong things. According to society, luxury is cars, expensive clothes, a lavish lifestyle. I think that's according to children. That's like according to high schoolers. The real luxuries in life: slow mornings, freedom to choose, a good night's sleep, peace of mind, calm and boring days, being present, people you love, people who love you back. I agree. You could have all of those, though. You could have all of those things. I'm just saying, some people like expensive clothes. I like quality clothes. I would use the word quality. I'm a big quality guy. Ben Cowan posted Bitcoin has a date with Destiny coming up. I think, was it T-Stew or Mr. Robbers pointing out the 200 moving average, which is, he says, I think Bitcoin has a date with Destiny. This was in November. A date with Destiny, 200-week moving average in 2026, probably around 60 to 70K. Interesting. I actually have been saying 70K, so that does correlate. Me and Ben Cowan officially agree on one thing. See, look at how much smaller this pump was. That goes into the extended cycle diminishing returns theory. Just saying. J. Wes Avenger said, well, it's the same as an OnlyFans model, JJ. Be mad at the people signing up. I mean, I'm not mad at people signing up. People are going to sign up. I got no problem with it. I just think it's scummy, you know. I don't think the OnlyFans is scummy. I don't think the people that sign up to OnlyFans are scummy. I think the people that get mad at OnlyFans people are a little weird. Those are usually the people that have wasted their life savings on OnlyFans. But who am I to judge? You know what I mean? If you tell me that you paid for groups, I'm not going to tell you that you're stupid. You wanted to pay for groups. But then if you come and tell me a story about how you paid for groups and you lost a bunch of money and they like belittled you, like all the Andrew Tate stuff is really weird. He's a weird fella. I think his groups are weird, and unfortunately I think they prey on insecure people. Just stuff like that. Like, I'm never going to blame the people that sign up. I think the people that offer them, a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, are just scumbag snake oil salesmen. Just my opinion. But it is a blanket statement, so I understand the ignorance in that as well. 88 Metal Mania said LOL. Emilio Crypto Bohan posted, Bitcoin has bounced back harder after every liquidity sweep. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. to see where we end up, see who's right, see who's wrong. Me feeling nothing after buying more Bitcoin at 75K. This is such a classic GIF. All right, Jack Dorsey said, buy Bitcoin from an exchange and move it to a hardware key you control. Bitcoin is a revolution. What a freaking legend. I like all of the rumors or the theories about Jack Dorsey being Satoshi. I don't know if he is, but the coincidences are crazy when you actually look into it. SLV Silver Bear Trap before the real blow off top. Let's go see. Gold down 1.35 still. Current candle, since the gap down, is up 1.35. That's so interesting. What am I looking at here? It says it's minus 1.32, but the candle is almost perfectly correlated with the percentage down. I feel like that's not making sense. Anyways, a gap down. We're currently sitting at 48.26 even. Let's see if we continue up from here. Silver also up now 1.41 after gapping down. Current candle up 1.45. Jas said, OnlyFans is my side job for crypto cash. Honestly, hell yeah. Like, if I could do it, I would do that shit all day. Are you kidding me? Like, for real. If I could just take pictures of my body and sell that shit, I would do that all day. I would do it for like a week. I would just do some crazy marketing campaign, do it for like a week, cash in a couple mil, and peace out. I would disappear. And then every couple of years, when I run out of money from being a gambling addicted degenerate, I would just do it again. JJ's comeback to OnlyFans. One night only. It would be like pay-per-view. It'd be so stupid. But I would do it if I could. Seriously. Are you serious? Making money off that? That's the easiest money in the world. You'd be silly to deny that. Jay Wes, I'm not gonna do any of the crazy risque things. I'm just gonna, post pictures of my body. Maybe in like some slightly revealing clothing. Maybe those are the people that don't make any money on OnlyFans. All the OnlyFans chicks watching are like, what an idiot. He wouldn't make anything. Joanne's Adventure said, nah, those groups are bad. When I talk about paid groups, there are some where, for example, they get Penguin on Solana under 500k market cap. But again, it's costly, or you have to be connected to get in. But with that argument, if you could make a chart and people sign up for 150 to see it, wouldn't you do that as well? Yeah. No, actually, I don't think so. I would just share the chart. I don't think I would. I'm not mad at Ben, CryptoFace, etc. doing that. I mean, my favorite part about CryptoFace is that people spoofed it, and you can get it for free. Tom Soxcoat said, JJ convinced me posting pictures of my butthole and OnlyFans now. I want a percentage. I'm the male OnlyFans pimp. Would that be gay? Is that kind of gay? I don't know if that is. Tom Selleck-Scout. Yep, I read that. That pulse play said, "What's up, everyone? What's going on?" we're talking about what we're gonna do after the inevitable collapse of society. Okay, gosh, we got really distracted about that, didn't we? Clearly, we're very seriously considering it. JP Morgan closed 3.17 million ounces of silver shorts exactly at the bottom of Friday's silver crash. JP manipulators issued all 633 of Friday's silver delivery notices at a settlement of 78.29. Wow, that's crazy. Breaking. Trusted source told that more banks are going to collapse. Gold and silver crash did the thing. Monday is going to be very bad. That's crazy. What do you guys think? Oh my gosh, silver's going higher. All right, let's do another poll. So we got 13 votes right now. I asked you guys, is the precious metals top officially in? 38% of you guys said yes, it's over for a while now. 23% said yes, but only for a short time. 23% said no, this is a retest. 15% said no, manipulation, then higher. I'm going to give you another poll. Start poll. What was the other poll? Do you think more banks are going to collapse this week? Yes or no? Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Do you think more banks are going to collapse this week? Yes or no? We had a bank in Chicago collapse on Friday, and some other bank took over their accounts or something like that. Cryptalica? I don't know. How do you say their name? Posted, the death of altcoins is alive. The others/BTC pair is sitting exactly on the decade-long trend support. This is not a graveyard. This is a rotation point. The question is simple. Do you bet against a 10-year perfect structure, or do you buy the fear? Ignore the noise. Trust the geometry. The crowd says alts are dead because they are bored. I say the spring is loading. If history rhymes, you know exactly what comes next. Here's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be betting on both. I'm going to be betting on both people being right. And by that, I mean, if alts crash, then I'm just going to lose a bunch of money. If alts moon, I'm going to make a bunch of money. But the kicker is, if I lose a bunch of money, I don't really give a shit. Because that money is devaluing anyways, so it's money that I can afford to lose. Obviously, at some point, maybe it gets out of hand and I have to pivot, but I'll still have the coins. So as long as I buy things that I think are going to hold value over a longer period of time, I'm happy. That Pulse player said, is there a OnlyFans market for middle-aged dad bods? Because if so, we rich? Dude, 1,000%. Maybe we should make that. That should be like our next video series is like only dads. Dude, only dads might actually sell. We could do like calendars. Damn. We'd have to like hire women to like do all of the calendar design and stuff, so it's not gay. We just take the pictures, you know, individually. We put on like those horse blinders so we don't have to look at each other. Okay. Chicken. What's going on, Chicken? Bank of America or Citigroup will be the Lehman Brothers this time if it's a big one, in my opinion. Really? That'd be interesting. Bank of America would be crazy. I've been getting Citi credit card offers. Should I open one before they collapse? Would that be dumb? This is hilarious. This animal said, Super Cycle canceled because of FUD. Send him back to jail ASAP and inject his $100 billion into altcoins and pump the market. Okay, he literally... I'm just going to play it. I'm going to play the audio because it cracks me up. This dude legit, like, basically said, there's no Super Cycle coming because you guys are mean to me. And it's really funny. Jay Wesevich said, prediction, the top signups for Only Dads is gay men. Do gay men like dads? Is that a thing? I guess it would make sense from a psychological standpoint. It's like chicks with daddy issues. Yeah, okay.
To be honest, a couple of weeks ago, I was pretty positive about the Bitcoin super cycle. But right now, given all the FUD and all the emotions that was stirred up in the community, I'm less confident about it now. To be very frank, because no, the more FUD you kick up and the more you get all the community right up, it does have negative effects. And also, well, basically right now, I think we're living in a very turbulent time globally.
Yes.
And globally, geopolitically, etc. It's very hard to predict what's going to happen next.
Yes.
Right. So I think fundamentally, there's going to be very high volatility.
Now, because you guys were mean to me, there's going to be high volatility. Now, suddenly, the geopolitical state of the world makes it hard to predict. There's not going to be a super cycle because you guys were being mean and you said mean things to me, and I don't like mean people, so I'm gonna make the numbers bad. That's basically what he said. He's not so sure now because he's a little whiny baby. Jope posted, altcoins are sitting near all-time lows across the board, and suddenly everyone is calling for 50K Bitcoin. This is usually when my bias starts shifting. I think we get one more real liquidation event towards 65K, a final flush that kicks everyone out. Mind you, I said 70K 65 for like the Pico low to shake everyone out. And after that, trend flips hard. If the scenario plays out, positioning into strong survivors makes sense in my opinion. Something like Litecoin isn't exciting, and that's exactly the point. Only liquid and already survived multiple cycles. Buying quality when nobody cares has historically worked better than buying hype at the top. If we get that final dump, I see it as an opportunity, not the end of the market. Supercycle talk sounds crazy in the middle of fear, but that's usually where the seeds get planted. And that is where people make life-changing money. That it really is. Now, I'm not going to say right now because we've only been in this craziness for like a couple months, but we got to start making plans. Jay Westminster said, with what CZ said, FUD is supposed to be bullish. With what CZ said, FUD is supposed to be bullish. Fear, uncertainty, doubt. You buy fear, so I don't get his logic. Oh, that's what I mean. His logic is you guys were mean to me. Like, I effed the market on October 10th, and then you guys found out and you were mean to me. So now I take back what I said about a super cycle. You're not getting a super cycle because I'm upset. My favorite thing in the world is everyone finding this out. Not that I thought that it happened, honestly. I had no idea. I knew Athena USDE was partially to blame, and I assumed it cascaded from there. I saw people talking about Binance's API and basically them being like the oracle essentially for price data, and then USDE depegging caused a lot of issues. I remember that like the day that everything happened on October 10th. So USDE, heavily affiliated with Binance, they're offering all of this promotional shit to basically get people to pile into this stablecoin, and then that caused the stablecoin to depeg because there was like a illiquid cycle of people trying to arbitrage yields on stablecoins, because stablecoins don't move in price. So if you offer a high yield on stablecoin, all you have to do is take out DeFi loans around it, and you can just infinite money print, and that broke the system, and everything collapsed, and they knew it. So when everything went down, they said, okay, we're going to pay everybody, like there's $385 million worth of accounts affected. We're going to make you guys whole. Our bad. Right there, that right there was their admission of guilt. We did something, fudged something up somewhere, so here's some money. And then they talked about it even more. And they said Ethereum was to blame. Recently, they said Ethereum was to blame because it's slow and the fees are weird. That doesn't make any sense. And then on top of that, then they're like, we're going to buy $1 billion worth of Bitcoin for the community. More admission of guilt. That was a $19 billion liquidation event that day. The largest liquidation event in history. I think anywhere ever. I think he's fucked. I think he's going to be in so much trouble. Let's see. That Pulse Play said time to buy. Hell yeah. Jay Westminster said he just confirmed the rumors with his statements. LOL. If you really think about it. Oh, 100%. Their admission, that's like I said, their admission of guilt was the day that it happened. And they were like, uh-oh, something broke on our end, and we're going to make those people whole. But the thing that broke on their end wasn't just about their account holders at Binance. It also affected other people that were like using Binance APIs and other assets that were affected from this crap that they did. So they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Okay. Bar chart posted gold has now traded green for 7 consecutive months. Its longest winning streak in history. Hell yeah. Oracle is now trading 25% below its 200-day moving average, the most since the .com crash. Yeah, this thing went up way too hard, way too fast. Maybe it'll continue, though. Aren't they half of the TikTok deal? Apparently TikTok sucks now. US dollar has only had 2 green months since January 2025. Not great. I'm telling you, they want a weak dollar. And I think Warsh is the big upset this time. That Pulse Play said, them Chinese Futurama squinty eyes. Dude, I love Futurama so much. That's like one of my all-time favorite shows. The episode, I'm going to apologize in advance right now. I'm so sorry. If you have a heart, this is going to mess you up, and I'm apologizing deeply because of it. The episode with Fry's dog is some of the saddest shit I've ever seen on TV in my entire life. I can't watch it. It messes me up, dude. That's such a good show. Hedge funds now have... Oh, there's an episode... There's a new... So they rebooted Futurama, actually. And they go to Mars or something. They go to a cryptocurrency mining place, and they're, like, physically mining cryptocurrency. And the, like, big machine miner dings. And the guy's like, oh, I got one. And he opens up a rock or something. And he pulls it out, and he's like, oh, it's just a danged Ethereum. And he throws it in the trash. It's so funny. Oh man. Oh shoot. Okay. Okay, hedge funds now have 8.7% net exposure to semiconductors, the highest level in history. That actually seems quite small, things considered. Fund managers are now the least hedged in 8 years, probably fine. I really don't think they're going to let things get as bad as they usually get. Options traders are now the most bearish on the US dollar in history. Oh, dang, we got a bunch of stuff. Hold on. Let me go back. Jesus. Okay. Next, Bank of America's bull and bear indicator registers one of the most bullish readings in history. All right. This one's interesting. Polymarket. J.D. Vance's once dominant lead in the 2028 elections odds has fallen amid the government shutdown and rising national unrest. Only 26% chance he's the winner. Interesting. We got Gavin Newsom, Marco Rubio, AOC. I feel like all of those picks are awful. I don't know much about Vance, to be honest. I thoroughly enjoy the memes, though. The JD Vance memes are some of the greatest memes to ever come out of the internet. Polymarket posted Bitcoin is now more likely to crash below 45K than to bounce back to 130K this year. That's crazy. See, this stuff flip-flops so fast, though. I really like when the market gets emotional on Polymarket or Kalshi because it's so easy. Like when people are like, oh my gosh, these odds just changed like crazy. And like the closing period for that bet isn't for like a month. It's so easy to go in there and bet the opposite direction. And then for it to like correct a little bit. And then you just close. And you make like 50%. It's crazy. That's literally what I did with the government shutdown bet. I bet that there was not going to be a government shutdown. And I closed it. And I doubled my money. And guess what? There was a government shutdown. But because people got so cocky so early, I was able to make money off of them. Nearly half of American Zoomers now believe the minimum livable wage is $30 an hour. Honestly, that sounds kind of right. With housing, absolutely. Carr posted managed to make $100,000 this month on Polymarket, while crypto has been going down only. Feels good. This literally aligns perfectly with Fahid saying everyone went to prediction markets. That's pretty much what I think happened. All the crypto folks went to prediction markets. Bitcoin slowing down here, 77, 718, and 71 cents. Dominance trying again for above 60. Alts are very quietly green. Gold and silver also holding steady. Silver more so than gold. Trump says the U.S. will hopefully make a deal with Iran. Tom Selleck said Newsom will be the next president. Market. You think so? What were the options? Newsom. 19%. Should I go put money on it? 20%. If I put $20 on it and it goes up to 100, that's a 4x. So I would make $80. Yeah. Should I put $20 on Newsom? You think he's gonna win? I mean, there's years until then, so I guess I'm not gonna lock up $20. Okay. Biggest bull run ever starts Monday. I love these posts. These posts make me so happy. We got a cross, and it's gonna curl up soon, I guess. Usually, let's see, the green dot cross. Yeah, that exact. I mean, yeah, it kind of does check out. We'll see. That'd be sick. We will see. Bitcoin is going to open up with the largest CME gap it has seen in a long time. Again, that is quite a large CME gap. It is currently sitting at $84,260 from this current price level. That CME gap is up 8.55%. That is a big boy CME gap. Raul Paul posted false narratives and other thoughts article on X. Let's go over here. I want to read this. Apparently it's a good read. I wanted to give you some insights I got from writing GMI this weekend. Is this a long one? It's very, very long. Is there a TLDR? Oh no, it's not too long. Okay, it's not too long. We're gonna we're gonna go through it. Bear with me. I guess I'll finish the news segment out first. Or no, do I? I'll read it first. We'll read it first. Bitcoin 77,632. Gold 47,770. No, 47.71. And silver 84.89. NASDAQ, S&P. Okay, let's read Ron Paul's article. I wanted to give you some insights I got from reading GMI this weekend. That will help give you some confidence. Settle in, grab a glass of wine or a coffee. I got my coffee. You guys got your coffee? Cheers. Thank you, Ron Paul. I'd normally say this for GMI and Pro Macro, but I know you all need your nerves calmed. The big narrative. The big narrative is that Bitcoin and crypto are broken. The cycle is over. It's all effed, and we can't have nice things. It has dislocated from other assets. It's CZ's fault. It's BlackRock. It's whatever. It is an alluring narrative trap for sure, especially when we see prices puking each and every effing day. But yesterday, a GMI hedge fund client sent me a quick note about whether he should buy SAAS stocks as they are discounted, or has Claude Code killed SAAS as the current narrative suggestion. I decided to dig in. What I found destroyed both the Bitcoin narrative and the SaaS narrative. SaaS and Bitcoin are the exact same chart. Huh? Interesting. That means there is another factor at play that we have all missed. The factor is that U.S. liquidity has been held back due to 2 shutdowns and issues with U.S. plumbing. The drain of the reverse repo was essentially completed in 2024. The TGA rebuild in July and August therefore had no monetary offset. The result was a drain in liquidity. GMI US Total Liquidity Index year over year. Yeah, you can see it's flat. And that actually looks like it correlates very heavily with the ISM PMI. This so far lackluster liquidity is the reason why the ISM has been so low. There you go. What did I just say? We actually use global total liquidity as it has the highest correlation to Bitcoin and NDX over the long term, but it appears that US total liquidity is more dominant at this phase, as the US is the key provider of global liquidity. This cycle, GTLI, has led US TLI, and a pickup is coming, and thus ISM. What have we been saying, guys? And this is what is affecting SAS and Bitcoin. Those are both the longest duration assets that exist, and both got discontinued because liquidity was temporarily withdrawing. The rally in gold essentially sucked all marginal liquidity out of the system that would have flowed into Bitcoin and SAS. There was not enough liquidity to support all these assets, so riskiest got hit. C'est la vie. Fed net liquidity year-over-year %, Bitcoin year-over-year %, RHS. Now the U.S. government is shut down again. The Treasury hedged this by not drawing down the TGA at all after the last shutdown, and in fact added more to it, more liquidity drain. This is the current air pocket we are facing, and it's causing brutal price action. No liquidity for our beloved crypto yet. However, the signs are that this shutdown will get resolved this week, and that is the final liquidity hurdle out of the way. I have mentioned the risk of this shutdown a few times. Soon it will be in the rearview mirror, and we can get on with the liquidity flood that is to come from the ESLR, the partial drain of the TGA, the fiscal stimulus, rate cuts, etc. It is all about the midterms. Also, what have we been saying? Often, these full cycle trades, it is time that is more important than price. Yes, prices can get killed, but as time extends, the cycle plays out, it all resolves, and alligator jaw closes. This is why I preach patience. Things need to play out, and tick watching your P&L just affects your mental health, not your portfolio. The Fed false narrative. On the subject of rate cuts, there is another false narrative going around that Kevin Warsh is a hawk. This is utter effing nonsense. These were comments mainly from 18 years ago. Warsh's job and his mandate is the Greenspan era playbook. Trump has said this, as has Besant. It's too long to go into here, but it means cut rates and let the economy run hot and assume the AI level productivity rise will subdue core CPI, just like the 1995 and 2000 era. He is no fan of the balance sheet, but the system hit reserve constraints, so likelihood is he won't change its current course. He can't, or he blows up the lending markets. Warsh will cut rates and do nothing else. He will get out of the way of Trump and Bassett, who will run liquidity via the banks. Mirren will likely force through the full reduction in the ESLR2 in order to goose the process. Don't believe me? Then believe Druck. Warsh is very open-minded to the monetary policy approach of former Fed chief Alan Greenspan, who oversaw the central bank in the 1990s during a period of intense productivity growth. According to Druckenmiller, Kevin right now very much believes you can have growth without inflation, he said. But I'm really excited about the partnership between him and Bassett, he said. Having an accord between the Treasury Secretary and Fed Chair is ideal. All right. All right, I gotta check my text messages. All right. So yeah, this is kind of what we were talking about right here as well, actually. With Warsh right now is the wild card that everyone's freaking out about, and everyone's like losing their minds about him being a hawk. He might not come in as a hawk. Oh my gosh. And that's literally, if that's what's driving this downturn in the market, that's crazy. People are losing their minds over something from 18 years ago. Like, I don't know anything about the guy, so I just kind of take everything that everybody else says at face value, but I'm not going to base any trades off of that, you know what I mean? Okay, let me check the chat really quick. Bitcoin 77,882.01. We've got gold at 47.50, 47.61, and silver at 84.01. All right, let's see. Tom Selleck Scout said, "What are you talking about? You absolutely need a calendar. Be gay. It ain't gonna be a woman buying it." You don't think women would buy the calendar? I feel like that's a challenge, Tom. Tom Selleck's goat specifically. What is your name as a goat? What is your name? I'm curious. 88 Metals Mania said Jesus. Okay, that was way earlier. The dog, loyal dog. Tom Selleck's goat said Newsom will be the next president. Jess said, I get midnight airdrop on February 5th. Nice. Very nice. You know what's crazy is the price might be at the exact launch price when you get that, which would be actually insane. Axe221 said, JJ, I had a snake poo today. Nice. Guys, regulate your bowels. You don't want to get butt cancer. Cody said, more banks. Did one collapse? I missed. So we had one collapse on Friday. Yes, a Chicago bank collapsed on Friday. John said, smash the like. Philly said, more banks at risk of collapse. Axe, picks, or you're lying. Cody said, more banks. John, did John say more banks? Where? He said he had a snake poo today. Are you guys okay? Am I missing stuff from the chat? There's a secret chat? John said nothing about... Do you guys know that Axe's name is John? It used to be John. That's why I call him that, by the way. I'm not hallucinating. There's no random John in the chat that you guys can't see. Okay, guys, don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. Silver, now officially back in the red. Down 2.37%, $83.29. Let's finish this off. This is a beautiful article by Raoul Paul, by the way. Brilliant, like primo copium, if you guys are interested. I know how hard it is to hear bullish narratives when things feel so bleak. Our sweet positions feel like utter dog shit, and we don't know what or who to believe anymore. Firstly, we have lived this many times before. When Bitcoin falls 30%, smaller tokens fall 70%. They recover faster too, if they are high quality. If you want to read more sweet analysis, there's a lot more on my free note on the Real Vision platform. You can sign up for free, and it should be in the feed under the notes section. Mea culpa, I don't know what that means. Our mistake at GMI was not seeing the U.S. liquidity as the current driving factor, when it is usually global total liquidity that dominates over the full cycle. But now it is clear, and it is still the everything code at play. There is no disconnect. It is just that the confluence of the events reverse repo drained, TGA rebuild, shutdown, gold rally, shutdown was not forecastable by US or in any event we missed the impact. It is almost over, finally. Soon we can return to normal business. We can just get every moving part right, but we now have a better understanding, and we remain huge bulls for 2026 because we know the Trump-Besant Warsh playbook. They told us repeatedly, all we have to do is listen and be patient. This is my big thing as well. Every time Trump was like, do this, do that, do this, do that, and then those things played out, everyone that dislikes him came out and they screamed, insider trading, insider trading. So Trump will be like, the S&P 500 is going to do great. And all of his blind haters would be like, I'm not buying the S&P 500. He's going to crash it. He's an idiot. I hate that guy. And then the S&P 500 goes, woo, to all-time highs. And then they're like, insider trading. They get so worked up and so mad. And it's just silly to me. Super silly. Tom Selleck's Goat said, Thomas Goat Selleck. I love it. John said, blessings, JJ. Blessings, John. Appreciate you. Philly said, the Chicago bank collapse I know of. I wonder if this will become a trend. Allegedly, people are talking about more banks collapsing, but time will tell. Rumors spread. Cody said, it's always on a Friday. The Fed like to take control. I can't remember, but I learned that in the real bear market. Billy said, I also agree people are unnecessarily losing their shit over Warsh. By the way, Warsh is a redneck way to say wash. That's hilarious. They probably, I'm pretty sure they say that like that in Australia as well. You have to wash your clothes. Okay, Rob Paul. Where were we? It's not time to price. I made up that entire sentence. It's time not to price in full-scale investing. If you are not a full-cycle investor and don't have the risk tolerance, that is absolutely fine. We all have our styles, but Julian and I are not swing traders, and we suck at it. We don't really care about the ups and downs within the cycle, but our proven and recorded track record in full-cycle investing is amongst the very best ever move the last 21 years. Caveat, we also can get it wrong. 2009 was a stunningly awful example. Now is not the time to give up. Good luck, and let's have a effing epic 2026. The liquidity cavalry are coming. I love it. This is a great post. This is amazing. Great read. Go check it out. Rob Paul posted it 6 hours ago. Silver turning massively red here, down 7% now. Gold down 5.9%. Whoa! Holy crap. Does Bitcoin not give a shit? That's interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen Bitcoin. Is it just slowly reacting? These are big drops on gold and silver. Is it a trap? No, this is, I don't know if you can even call this a trap. This is a big drop. Even if it goes back up, it's probably going to take a long time. If it goes straight up after this, then sure, we can, call it a trap, but I don't think that's going to happen. This is some spicy meatballs. Wow. That's a crazy candle on gold. Holy shit. I can't believe that. Okay. Kobayashi letter 4 hours ago. The U.S. demographic outlook is deteriorating. Starting in 2030, annual deaths are projected to exceed births for the first time in U.S. history, according to CBO projections. After that point, the gap between deaths and births is expected to widen every year through 2056. This means the beginning in 2030, net immigration will be only source of U.S. population growth. Meanwhile, the overall population growth rate is projected to slow from 0.3% annually over the next decade to just 0.1% starting in 2040. The U.S. population is expected to stop growing entirely in 2056, reaching 364 million people. This is 8 million fewer than the CBO projected last January, marking significant downward revision. Is a demographic crisis on the horizon? Here's my issue with this. Our entire global society is so heavily hinged on the Ponzi, let's be honest, of population growth that we panic whenever population slows. We cannot house like 100 billion people on the planet. So we need to normalize maybe just population stagnation. That's totally fine. If the population stays, it can go down a little bit, go up a little bit. Let's plateau, man. Let's plateau. Let's make life affordable. And then we can talk about maybe multi-planetary population growth. But on a macro standpoint, it's crazy to me. People are like, have kids, and then everyone's like, we can't afford them. Then they're like, have them anyways. No. People don't want kids, bro. Kids are expensive. Cody said, it's always on a Friday. Yep, yep, yep. Billy said, gold is simply correcting. It went up too fast. It was likely to dump. I don't know. Gold doesn't normally dump like this. This is actually, Billy, gold is the largest asset on the planet, and it's down 16%. This candle alone is 5.5% to the downside. That's a lot, bro. That is a lot. Bitcoin fell under 76K. Is it still? Or did it recover? No, it's back above. So it did recover, but that was during this candle right here. That was 2 hours ago. Cointelegraph posted an update. The next FTX distribution is expected, keyword expected, to occur on March 31st per Sunil. That's just in time for rate cuts in May, maybe. Estimated distributions, 120%, 78.2%, 85%. Disputed reserve reduced by 2.2 billion. Assume 2 billion paid out. Claims 50K may get 1.7 billion. 21% to get 100%. I don't understand. But cool, that's awesome. Now, Bitcoin closes 4 consecutive red months for the first time since 2018. And mind you, I believe 2018, 2019 was bear market leading into the bull market. 2018 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 actually. Wow. We are at number 5 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if March is red, then that would be 6. And then April, May. Is that the longest streak? I think it is. Whew. So we technically, if we get through 2 more months, we got a chance. Somebody said hell of an October. It's awesome. Hell of an October. Yeah, dude, October sucked. 2025 kind of sucked for Bitcoin. Bitcoin was boring in 2025, man. Philly said nobody wants kids because women don't want to get married. They want to do OnlyFans and others want to play the field. I don't know if that's a blanket statement. I think that people just can't afford kids, Philly. All right. Last but not least, we've got Cointelegraph. Ethereum recorded 587.2 million in stablecoin outflows. People are stablecoined out officially. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money leaving the market. $500 million. Look at this next screen. The one time arrows up 3.8284%. Interesting. Gold and silver. Man, they are flushing out the longs, aren't they? Jay Wesevich said, I think nobody wants kids because the economy is wrecked. I agree. That's, yeah, people can't afford kids, man. Kids are expensive. The kids that are being born are an accident. Look at Bitcoin go lower. Let's see. Bitcoin, yep, down 0.41. Derek said, the dating scene is pretty bad, dude. Every single bachelor knows this. Oh, yeah, I'm terrified of that, honestly. I'm, like, obviously, high school sweetheart. But we've both talked about it. We're like, if anything ever happens, we're not getting in another relationship, you know. I will happily be single because it sounds like a nightmare. We literally got in a relationship like before dating apps. But like, I think Snapchat was like just getting popular right as we graduated. So all the app stuff was like just coming online. And we've been, you know, in a relationship since then. So all my buddies are like, oh my gosh, dude, this happened and all this crazy shit. And I'm like, that's insane. That's actually insane. And like, I can't process it mentally. It seems like such a crazy, convoluted mess. I would never want to deal with it. And I genuinely feel bad for you guys. So it doesn't help that both sides are so like, you got the OnlyFans chicks that want to play the field, and you know, more power to them. That's totally fine. But the other side, you got the Andrew Tate dudes that are like absolute morons, and they're like, women are objects. So I don't blame the women, and I don't blame the men. Everyone's kind of an idiot. I think the baseline problem is the education, the education system. Pickle Rick said, "What did I miss? Hey everyone, what's going on, Pickle Rick?" J.Y. Zavich said, "This is why we see the rise of passport bros." Yeah, yep. Pickle Rick, what did you miss? Well, Bitcoin took a big fat dump. You know, we read like a 4-hour long article from Raoul Paul, and silver and gold are trying to decide if they want to go up or down, liquidating everyone in the process. And tomorrow we get the ISM manufacturing PMI print, and if the government reopens, according to Raoul Paul, number go up. He said the liquidity cavalry are coming. Exciting. Bitcoin daily close was 76,968 and 21 cents. Billy said, "Is your wife your high school sweetheart?" Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, we went to school together. She was in the grade below me, and then I ended up going to school for an extra year for tax reasons. You guys can't tell if I'm being truthful or not either. Okay, I got 2 alerts from Coinbase just now. Aerodrome up 6.02%. ETH down 5.22%. I don't know what time frame Coinbase is working off of, but ETH today, since the daily close, the global daily close, I think, is down, or up actually, 0.51%. So those alerts are maybe bum alerts. I got this coffee. My fiance has been going to this coffee place near the theater that she works at, and it's so good, dude. It's such good coffee. And I've been buying bagged coffee from there. It's kind of bougie. It's a little expensive, but it's so worth it. And that's coming from like the cheapest bastard on the planet. I buy like 5-year-old refurbished Google Pixel phones when I need a new phone. You mess with BTCI? I do not. I don't know what that is. Pickle Rick said, "Was putting new bands on my slingshots. Going bunny hunting next weekend. Nice. Just make sure you don't miss." Philly said, "Passport Bros was a YouTube thing. Nobody really did it. And if you bring your foreign language life to the USA, she'll slowly become westernized." Philly, didn't you marry? Didn't you marry somebody from Peru? I love you, Philly. Don't get mad at me. That's good. That's good. What was I cracking up about earlier? I don't remember. Was it the OnlyFans stuff? That Pulse Player said, "Also, me and JJ are opening an Only Dad's narrative, yeah, on OnlyFans for crypto cash. Can't forget that, Pickle." Oh, yeah, that's true. You're not supposed to talk about her, dude. We gotta wait for the patent. We gotta wait for the patent approval and the copyright. People are still traveling from what I see. Thailand and Colombia, the top spots they're going. That's crazy. Philly said, "I don't know, JJ. You got held back a grade?" Philly married a foreigner. Philly's a passport bro. We're both just talking shit. I love you, Philly. So, I can explain the high school thing. It was kind of crazy. I was going to high school, and everything was going fine. We were in semesters, and they switched to trimesters for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe they got more money from the state. Who knows? They switched to trimesters. So everyone that had been attending school already, you went from like getting 2 credits a year to like 3 or whatever. And like, I don't know what happened. Something happened. I find out at 17 years old that I'm going to be a kid. Or I'm going to be a kid. Holy shit. That I'm going to be a dad. My brain is melting. I swear to God. I find out at 17 years old that I'm going to be a dad. Jesus Christ. So I straighten up immediately. Straighten up. I like quit drinking, quit partying with my friends and whatever. Every day at lunch, I would go sit with the counselor. And I would ask him, "Do I have enough credits to graduate?" And he would tell me every single time. He's like, "Yep, you're good, JJ. You're good. You're going to graduate on time. As long as you don't fail any of your classes, you're good to go. I was like, all right, thank you. And then I kept doing that for the first 2 weeks of that school year. And he looked at me. He put his hand on my shoulder. He goes, JJ, you don't have to come down here every single day. You can enjoy your lunch. You're going to graduate on time. I was like, all right, thank you. So I go to lunch. A week goes by. I get called down to the office. And it's the counselor. And he sits me down. He's like, I made a mistake. And I was like, what happened? And he tells me to my face, he goes, you are going to be 1 trimester credit short of graduating on time. And I was like, okay. You didn't know this? Notice that for the 2 weeks that I was coming down here, every single day asking you? And I'm like, what are my options? He goes, you can either come to school for summer school for a summer and graduate on time. You can come to school for an entire additional school year next year. Or you can go to the alternative school for where all the bad kids went that got expelled. And if you work hard enough, because it's self-paced, you can graduate on time. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the alternative school. They had off-campus lunch and stuff. It was pretty sick, actually. So I go there, and it was really cool. And I graduated a year later. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to implicate myself for a crime. If we do like an exclusive stream that isn't recorded afterwards, maybe I'll tell the full story. Or if you guys want to join the Discord, we'll do a voice call or something like that, and I can tell the full story. But the rest of it, it's pretty sick, actually. My principal has since passed away, so he won't get in trouble. But I don't know if I'll still get in trouble. It was pretty cool. It was cool. The reason why I stayed was very lucrative, I will say. The DXY, this is one of the most interesting things to me as of late that no one's really talking about anymore. The DXY has a 15-year-old trend line that goes all the way back to April 2011, which is when my daughter was born, by the way. And we closed below that trend line. We got a start of this trend line with a double bottom, second hit with a double bottom, third hit with a double bottom in there, and then the third hit on this double bottom section, which would have made a triple bottom, broke this trend line, which is a huge deal. 97, 147. In order for this to not lose that 15-year-old trend line, it has to get back above 97.55 and then start trading higher. I don't know if that's going to happen. Pickerick said, used to go hunting with slingshots every day growing up instead of eating sleep. That's awesome. I remember trying to make traps and stuff, and none of them ever worked, but I did grow up deer hunting. Went bird hunting a couple times, never got anything. I don't know that I've ever had rabbit. Venison is like one of my favorite things in the world to eat. I've had turtle. Turtle is disgusting. I don't understand why people eat turtle. It's like hair. Let's see. J. Wes Adventure said, whoa, Philly. I think Philly a red pill guy. Is he? What did he say? Philly said, Google Pixel phones are the king. I do like Google Pixels. He also said, JJ dumbass, she's from Peru. We met in Philly. Pickerick said, graduating is graduating. I got my diploma in jail on my way to prison. Nice. You know, I think a lot of people in jail, they like fix their education. I think that's one of the few things that is overlooked. Everyone's like, oh, our prison system's broken, whatever. It probably is. I'm pretty sure it is. My buddy was in prison for most of his life, and I had to pay for JPay and shit, so it was a mess. I understand, but I like the education reform that has happened in prison and jail. I think that's awesome. Let's see. Can coins go up for the love of everything? Billy said, oh no, JJ, you got put in the bad kids school. I voluntarily went to the bad kids school, which was awesome. J. Wesovich said, freaking streamer are making millions on my YouTube recommended shake my head streamers. Right. Yeah, ridiculous. Okay, so I asked you guys, do you think more banks are going to collapse this week? 69% of you guys said no. I'm going to end it because that's a beautiful number. We've been going for 2 hours. Do I have any more polls? Biggest threat to your portfolio right now. Ooh, okay. Let's see, actually. Let's do one more. Do you think Warsh is going to be like... I'm going to say, what do you think Warsh is going to be like? Hawkish. Rate hike. Hawkish. No printer. Dovish. Rate cut. Dovish. Money printer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, direct your attention to the poll in the chat. What do you think Warsh is going to be like? We got hawkish rate hike, or yeah, hawkish no printer, dovish rate cut, dovish money printer. Pick your poison. Pickerick said, I know men don't say this to each other enough, but I'm proud of you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm proud of you as well. I appreciate you guys for joining us on these lovely streams. What's Bitcoin doing? Because the weekly candle is green. Ooh, it's green again. Look at that. Dude, all I got to do is make the candle go boop, 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 boop every 4 hours, and everyone will long and short the top and bottom so many times, and then they make it go sideways, and they make a shit ton of money off of you. You end up getting shafted. Look at 8 is up 2.55%. What else? We got double digits. H-bar, double digits just because it's 2. Arrows up 8 point. Ooh, I like that. I told you guys, man. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I like that. When Arrow moves, it moves hard. Moved hard off of 40. Right now, it's about to move hard off of 35. Not financial advice. Joe Edsmich said, the chop zone. Should that be the name of the news segment? Because the price is chop while we're reading the news. Fartcoin's up 3.92%. Let's go, Fartcoin. Polkadot, 2.61. Dang, I totally forgot Polkadot existed. What was the all-time high on Polkadot? I'm just curious, because this thing has been decimated. Polkadot, and what's crazy is this is Polkadot's bull market in 2020, 2025. Polkadot's all-time high is $55. Whoa. Tom Selleck said, watch alt season starts right now. That would be so freaking funny, dude. That would be the funniest shit in the world. Also, if we were streaming while it like happened, if we get like a 100% pump on alts right now, that would be so sick. That would be the coolest shit ever. I mean, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you think about how much 100% is, the fact that we get like 3, 4, 5% days in crypto is pretty sick. Jim has just said, ew, the polka dot, ew. Dude, they changed their flaming butthole logo. They stopped paying the $1 million a year on CoinMarketCap. They don't have it anymore. Where is it? That passive? There's no way, right? It's still the pink, isn't it? Or did they change that too? There's no way. Where the heck is Polkadot? Okay, let's go slow. World Liberty, Avalanche, SWE, HBAR, PayPal, World Liberty again. How many? Oh, there's USD. Okay. Toncoin, I still think that's a scam, allegedly. Yeah, they changed it. It's not the pink flaming butthole anymore. What? I had no idea. Well, good for them. Someone finally had like some sense of marketing and was like, guys, this looks like a flaming butthole and it's pink. Oh my god. Hello? Staking rewards 8%. Is there supply? Oh my god. This is why Polkadot may never recover, guys. They, I'm assuming, unlocked their supply. Was it ever locked? And they're paying out 8% staking rewards to everyone. People are going to sell it. That's a lot of inflation, bro. Max supply. That's an infinity symbol. If you guys can't see it, let me zoom. That is an infinity symbol. Which, by the way, see this? Sideways 8? That is an infinity symbol. I don't know if you guys know this. This might spook you a little bit. It's not meant to, but I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to apologize in advance for it. Ethereum is also an infinity symbol. They have no max supply. Ethereum has infinite supply. Now, that being said, they do not have some ridiculously conflated unlock schedule or print schedule. I don't know why they have an infinite supply, but as of right now, their circulating and total supply is capped at 12.69. Is it going to increase from there? I have no idea. They could. I don't know what you have to do to increase it. Fully diluted value. See, this doesn't make sense either. Fully diluted value is 277.33 billion. But the fully diluted, isn't that? Yeah, that's the market. Okay, never mind. Never mind. My bad. But yeah, infinite supply on ETH was always super interesting to me. JY's Avenger said, Aerodrome pumping because more coins on base are popping off. Banker, Mult, Clauncher, AI agents. Ethereum has burn mechanics, though. Was the whole point of ETH merge. My favorite thing in the world is, I guess I shouldn't say that because that's tacky, but one of the funnier things in crypto that I have witnessed is ETH switching from proof of stake to the most illiquid ass liquid staking and basically destroying their entire market cap and ecosystem afterwards. That I always thought that was kind of funny. And their staking is still the most illiquid shit I've ever seen. Ultrasound Money has good ETH breakdown. It's ETH tokenomics breakdown. Yeah, I'm good. Not that I dislike ETH. Some of the things that they do irk me. I think the Ethereum Foundation is a scam. It should go away. I don't think Ethereum is decentralized at all. I think their supply is a joke. And I think that their switch from proof of work to proof of stake was politically motivated and it destroyed the blockchain. That's just my opinion. Cheers, though. Cheers. Not that I wouldn't buy it. I do think it'll still increase, but they definitely have too many hats and they're full of shit in most of them. All right. Let's see. Silver 82.04. Gold 47.02. Big wick to the downside. Altcoins kind of trying to wake up here. It's interesting seeing silver and gold dump that much and crypto not react at all. JY's Adventure said, if they remain proof of work, would not be scalable. I disagree. The fees are the same. The fees are the same. I think that they could have just fixed it as proof of work because Bitcoin fees aren't crazy. Bitcoin is cheap. I don't know. I think that they built a broken system and they can't fork it or migrate or anything enough to actually fix their problems. There's too many. It just seems like a web of a big messy web. Not that it's gonna stay that way, but I think that they lie about too much stuff too, dude. I'm not a fan. Silver down 2.56, gold down 3.56. When they were like, oh, proof of work is not good for the environment, and then they switched to proof of stake, and they're like, this is gonna fix the fees, and it didn't fix the fees. And they've done that like 8 times, and the fees do nothing. Then they're like, oh, our staking is liquid, and it's not. There's a queue. If you stake ETH, you have to wait for that ETH to actually stake, like weeks. And then if you unstake it, it's the same story. How the hell is that liquid? Ordinals made Bitcoin transactions expensive. Dude, Ordinals was kind of another meme, honestly. I feel bad. Like, I like what they tried to do, but I don't know. It seems like they fumbled the bag there, too. They had all the market share available to them in the world, and they fumbled it. All they had to do was convince Bitcoin people that it was with Bitcoin, not against it. And somehow they pissed off the maxis even more. What a weird political game this whole ecosystem is. It's fun, though. It's fun. I thoroughly enjoy it. I really do. S&P 500, 69.39.02. Let's see what we open with. Let's actually look up stock market, after hours. Not aftermarket. I don't know why I always say aftermarket. After hours stock market, NASDAQ down 0.5. That is up, actually. It was down way farther. S&P down 0.31. Dow down 0.11. Not bad at all. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Do we think strategy is going to recover? Bitcoin up 0.82. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm going to call it an evening. I think I'm a little hungry, a little hangry. We got 4 votes, 50-50. Okay, I'm going to end it. We're ending the poll with 4 votes. Unless somebody votes in a quick second. JY's Venture says Solana is better layer 1. They achieve the ultimate scaling and speed. I actually agree. I agree with you there. And I think the Solana criticisms are sometimes a little bit silly. I think the biggest hurdle that Solana has to get over right now is their validators are leaving. Apparently, it's too expensive to be a Solana validator. You could count base as ETH, but they will launch a token and maybe make it the gas token. So we'll see. I think that it's a fair fight right now between Ethereum and Solana. It feels it's a fair fight. So it's going to be cool to see how everything plays out. Ladies and gentlemen, end of the poll, we did get an extra vote, and I like it. It supports my bias. Does it? No, it doesn't. Actually, I lied. Damn it. I asked you guys, what do you think Warsh is going to be like? And 60% of you guys said hawkish, no printer. The other 40% said dovish, rate cut. So the audience is divided. Make sure you guys smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. If you guys are interested at all in degenerate gambling on prediction markets, join Kalshi. You sign up with my referral. Trade $25 more. We both earn $25 in non-withdrawable site credit. It's a ton of fun, but it is gambling. It should be treated as gambling, so only play with what you can afford to lose. Before I go, let's go check the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. 14. Woo! We are at extreme fear. Wow. What's the lowest it's been in the past year? 10? Yeah. When's the last time we were below 10? We went below 10 a handful of times. Back in 2019. And very briefly in 2022. We have not been below 10 since then. And then on CoinMarketCap, we are at 15 on the Fear and Greed. Interesting. Yeah, every time we go into this deep red, it comes back pretty quickly. But that doesn't mean that, we're going to go straight up from here. Anything can happen. We'll be along the ride, though, every single day with you guys to cope you through it. Silver down 1.92%, $83.71. Gold down 3.75, 4,712. And Bitcoin up 0.94, 77,699. Nice. Guys, as always, when the market starts to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you are new. Share the stream. We're trying to get the 2,000 subscribers before April. Appreciate you guys. Happy Sunday and good night.